let's continue this one. Last time we have 1400 SF propellant of a GLR because we have 1500 from here and 100 SCF PPL from the reservoir fluid. So if we want to know what is the injection, means only we have 14 SCF PPL and we have 1,000 barrel per day of liquid, means that we have 1,400,000 of SCF per day, or 1.4 million cubic feet per day of injection fluid. Okay guys, the next step is how to make this one. The first thing you do actually seeing what is the gas, the gradient of cooling fluid, which is in the problem is 0.5 psi per feet. Means if you have incremental of 1,000 psi to the bottom, you end up with having 1,000 feet to the bottom from the surface, or incremental of 1,000 feet. You end up with having 500 psi of pressure difference. Okay, pressure difference is incremental also. Means if you have 100 psi here on the surface, on the zero, on 1,000 means 100 plus 500 means 600 is coming up here. So you make a straight line until touching the PKO. Why PKO? Because the first valve is empty. It's just there is no restriction on it, so it is keep open. And then later on we will close also, of course. And then you make that this is the first valve. We make a line which is parallel to the x-axis, and then this is, and then from here you will have a gradient cooling fluid of 0.5 also. So if you have less than 2,000 here, the depth is less than 3,000 here, and this one is around 365, and this one become 865 in here, in point here. Make a straight line here and touching the PSO. And then the third line, on the third line is much simpler. If you do a parallel line to here, you can use this type of calculation, or you can use a parallel line, okay, until you have all of them are until you have touching the point where you have mixing fluid of a reservoir liquid and the injection. So after accounting that there are 7 valves have to be installed here in order to unload the cooling fluid of half psi per feet. If you have a different cooling fluid, probably like 0.4, probably you might end up with, because 0.4, if you 1,000 psi, the pressure lower, it becomes something like this. So something like this, because the pressure is lower. No, something like this. Okay. If it's higher, something like this. Okay. From this 7, we will design how to install, how to set each of the valve at the below pressure in order to be able to unload everything here. So the setting up is done in the shop. So you bring it to the shop, and then you put the pressure on the below in order to and put the nitrogen. Remember that you put a nitrogen on the valve, what is the pressure in nitrogen in order to be able for the valve to close. Let's continue with the filling up the designing of the